ZeBirdBrain, and today we are talking about rigging. Specifically, this rig, because I've been receiving lots of questions about it, so I guess I'll do a video talking about it and how it's working. So that's Rue. It's my D&D character that I use a lot in different campaigns. What people are asking for is, how did I make this rig? Because I don't know, people must think it's complicated or something. It's not. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's pretty darn simple. So, let's go. So first, I'm gonna start with, like, the hands and the legs, and I'll go to the face. So I mean, the hands are pretty simple. It's just drawing substitution. So if you want to draw another hand, you just go there and well, you can pick from some of them that I made for myself, but I'm not really great at drawing those. You should ask Fish Face, she's a bit better. But yeah, so if you want a new one, you just draw a new hand. For the arms, they're like my other tutorials I made to show you how to group them and like copy them so that you can like if I draw another hand here, why can't I draw? There we go. If that's my new hand, oh, that's a bit gruesome. The drawing also shows up on my other hand. Yay, that's great. So that's special, I guess, but I mean, I have a tutorial showing you how to do it, so anyone can do it. And then for the arms, it's just normal pieces. Like if you remove the gloves part, I won't hide, is a bit more complex. But if you remove them, you just have an arm, and it's one drawing with, guess what, an envelope. So I use these if I need to do like smear frames or whatever. I can just get my whole arm like this and just make the deformer appear. And then I use these two buttons, with one of them is control selection mode to select just my deformer points, and then this one is the mixed manipulation mode, which allows you to select like pegs and deformers at the same time, but also to select multiple deformers at the same time. So if I want to make big smear frames, I can just take the whole arm like this, and you know, just pull the things, right? So that's how I would make my smear frames. There are some things that could be more complex, but I just made the executive decisions to make them simple, and so far it's been enough, which is an important part, I think. As a rigger, you should be very conscious to what your animators need. In my rig here, let me just remove the jacket a little bit. So I have this little chainmail detail. I could have made all of them individual to be able to move them in perspective. That's actually smart if your show needs it, right? But what I did for those is they're just one piece right here, and I just put a curve envelope on them like this. So if I need to foreshorten it, I can just click on the dot and, like, you know, you can like make them smaller. It's not super accurate and it doesn't have as much control as having each of them individual, but so far for my animation it just works great. And if there's a specific shot where I kind of need the perspective in these chainmails to be perfect, you can always re-rig it for that very scene. But like, I tend to rig for arbitrary number, like 70% of my storyboard for my episode, for example, right? So you look at the episode, and if you think that this is gonna be enough and your animators are all in for it, be my guest and just do something simple like that. I think sometimes rigger needs to also back up trying to show that they're amazing, because we know you can like do each of these chainmail one by one, but do we really need it, right? So that's a choice I made, not because I'm bad, not because I don't know how to rig each of these one by one, just because I think if I need to move my character in the animation, it won't really matter if these circles don't follow the perspective perfectly. If it was a really realistic show, then it would be necessary, but these are some choices I made when I designed these characters, because there's more than one. And yeah, I just thought that if I was animating this for a show, that's a decision I would have made, being like, do I want to spend $300,000 on retake to have the perspective perfect in these, or will the people watching my show understand what's going on? Like, they will understand the story even though the freaking chainmail is not in perspective or something. So you know, like, for the most part it works, so that's enough for me. So yeah, so these are the arms. So pretty simple. There's the hand, forearm, the arm. Here there is inside the arm, there is a one part that is the collar for the armor sleeve or whatever it is. I have these deform points here. The shape is a bit small. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it like that, because each time that I try to move the arm to make it like a bit buffer, if I go too far, it's a bit too small, so I might fix it. But the reason why I made it a bit smaller was because it just means that my points here are a bit short, a bit more near, so I can get my round circles here easier. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. It's still a work in progress, because I can always just take both of these and just like, both of these points and just make them both bigger. It's just something you have to get used to. So I'm still trying it out, and if anything, it's easy to fix. So like, that's why I'm trying it and seeing what people think about it. The chainmail are on their own and this color is on its own as well. That's for perspective reason, because there's only, like, I know I said to unite the 3 chainmails together was a smart move, but riggers shouldn't be lazy as well, and always consider what your animators have to go through, because if they have to do the same thing in 300 scenes, sometimes it's a bit annoying. So like having the chainmail and the arm together could be a bit harder to work. So I think it is legit to at least separate these 2 details together, because then I can maybe foreshorten this a bit easier without having to like change the chainmail. So I think it's important to have both of them separated, like this. And then there's a shoulder thingy. It's basically just a circle with another shape cut inside. So really simple for the arms. And for the pants, it's simple. It's just one shape like this, another shape here. That part does makes it a bit more complicated but that's a choice I made in my design of like, yeah, he's gonna have baggy pants, but honestly it's just 2 legs that are rigged as usual with a perfect circle so that they rotate the right way. Yay! And it's just that if I make the leg extend or something, at least I have something, well, if I make the leg extend, then I can just have this here, and I have a deformer out there that I can still use the same buttons from before to just move that part inside, and that's it. Of course, we have these pads thing that are invert cut into the legs. They don't show up on the second leg just because it would have been more troublesome, and I never needed to do that, so I didn't do it. Which is why I always say that it's important to design following kind of like rig guidelines if you want it to be efficient. That's why I say it's always better to have details show up only on one part of the limb, not both. It is possible to do both, but it's just if you can avoid it, just avoid it. But it's gonna save you a bunch of nightmares. Same thing for the arm here, like the chainmail stops before the elbow for a reason. So you know, we already talked about that. Then if you remove the torso, there's nothing. I could give it a belly. I'll see if I do that. Now I'm gonna talk about the feet. The feet, they look really simple, but they're actually really complex to animate. So it's not something I recommend. It's a battle I chose to fight for my character, because the rest of them is pretty easy to animate. Like the rest of it's really, really easy. It's just when I get to the feet, it's a bit more cumbersome, but I really like the look. So it's a battle that I willingly chose to fight. It's because it's a very smooth things, which is very easy to do in hand-drawn, right? Because you can just draw these lines and it's simple. In a rig, it's a bit more complicated because you have 2 pieces. Woo! So when I bend it, it doesn't look as great because there's like a little bulge here. And if I do it on the other side, it's always weird. So then I would need to fix all of the deformers one by one, and it's not that great. So sometimes just for a quick pose, like if he's jumping in the air and I need to have a good line of action, I have these cutters here. They just cut both pieces. So they're gonna cut the foot to give it a very, very smooth line of action like this, just to make it a bit smoother. So that's what that thing does here. So that's why it's a bit like the feet are the complex part of my rig, but the rest of it it's really like there's no constraints, there's no weird things. I swear it's just envelopes and pegs and a lot of love, and that's how I get these poses. It's really just about moving these pieces so that they fit. I don't know what to say. So if you have more questions, I guess let me know and I'll try to answer. But it's envelopes and pegs, man. That's it. And I'll probably do more videos about it, but for today we're out of time. If you have any questions, I guess write them in the comments or in my Discord channel or Twitter. I don't know. I'll try to answer it. Yeah. Part 1, I guess. Have a nice week.